Well, this is kind of the continuation of the video that cut off. I didn't have my video on my cell phone on airplane mode, and I got a phone call, so the phone call aborted my video, but I was primarily finished. I was just rambling on. So this is just an exceptional part of Aspen, and real breezy here now, real clean, and they do have mandatory mask zones. Almost all of the outdoor city of Aspen. They really do want to keep things, tourist friendly and safe for everybody. So I'm in agreement with that. I actually think, masks will prevent, transmission of just ordinary viruses and disease and bacteria. It's very uncomfortable wearing a mask, but in the long run, it's going to help, especially during the winter months. There's some quotes over here. Let me... No problem. No problem. Confronting the world today is more vital than conservation and wise utilization of natural wealth. I think the problem confronting the world is humanity. Prolific breeding of humans. Do you remember it here, Val? She's been here before. She was here 2 years ago. In rivers, the water you touch is the last of what has passed, and the first of that which comes. So it is with time present. Leonardo da Vinci. I've been collecting some rocks, and I have some ideas for painting. Really wish I had some instruction. I need to find a local art teacher, a painter. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I think if we take a very good look at our everyday lives and just realize how important beauty is. You guys, when you see a pretty girl with long hair, with a good body and nice legs, pretty eyes, you stop and you look, and it really catches your attention. And for you girls, you like the looks of a young guy, a guy with good skin, maybe a nice body, maybe a taller guy, maybe a guy with a lot of hair, maybe a rugged guy on a bicycle or a quad, or maybe someone in a uniform. Beauty is, I think, sought by everybody of every age, young and old, beautiful and unattractive. when we go to pick out clothing, we pick what we value as beautiful, and nobody's definition of beauty is the same. I personally like bright colors. I don't like gray, I don't like light blues, and I don't like whites, and I don't like beiges, but some people love those colors. Some people are very attracted to those colors and drawn to those colors. Some people think the beaches are beautiful. Some people think the streams and the mountains are beautiful. Some people think a brand new pickup truck is really hot and desirable. Some people think a luxury car is desirable. Some people like Mustangs, and I've never understood why people like Mustangs. And dogs are another thing. Like some people, like schnauzers. Some people like poodles. Some people like big dogs. Some people like small dogs. Some people like white dogs. Some people like black dogs. And beauty is just defined just so differently from all of us. But the fact that we all seek beauty is a pretty strong factor of our existence. Here's a quote here. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserve of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. There is symbolic as well as actual beauty in the migration of the birds, the ebb and flow of the tides, the folded bud ready for the spring. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after the winter. Rachel Carson. And when I did my video, I didn't even know that that quote on the rock would be there. But all of our senses, our hearing, our feeling, our taste, our vision, those senses are very important to us. And people who don't, maybe they can't draw on the appreciation from those senses, or maybe they've lost their eyesight, or their hearing is going, they're fading. I'm pretty lucky. I think my hearing and my vision is pretty sharp, or my appreciation anyway is sharp. I can hear whispers and I can hear very faint sounds. But aging does diminish those aspects of beauty. And I think when we fail to appreciate the beautiful things, which is going to, cross everybody sooner or later, or if you're just in a mindset where you're just so depressed and so bored and so unhappy and in such deep internal pain that you can't appreciate beauty and you can't find beauty, I think that's when the soul starts to decline and diminish and, perish. When I'm really disgusted with things, and that's pretty often actually, but when I'm like down and out and, things aren't going right, and, COVID is just major isolation, and a lot of the things that I had appreciated, which was concerts, and I really, really value my sense of hearing. I love music. It just really turns me on. And I love bands. I love going to see concerts. So I've lost out on 3/4 of a year of really, really awesome concerts, including Jimmy Buffett, the Rolling Stones, Reba McEntire, Christopher Cross. So that has just diminished my state of my happiness and my seeking of pleasure through, you know, the senses of hearing and sight and but just one thing to consider when you really see no, you know, beauty in life, and I believe it is that your senses are just not acute. You're beginning to lose your senses, or maybe a depressive episode has, you know, caused you to lose your bearings. But if you do look for beauty, and if you're able to find beauty, whether it's in a book, whether it's online, you can go to YouTube and, you know, see scenery like this. A lot of my videos are from vacations. You can see, I mean, you don't even have to leave your couch to travel, basically, these days on YouTube. And so, you know, music is also another way to regenerate yourself, especially during COVID. You know, there's all kinds of music options online, and there's Spotify, there's Sirius, there's Pandora. You know, there's record albums. You can go to an estate sale and get some record albums. You can just get an old cheap record player and play some old tunes, some 45s or some 33s. And you can turn on the radio in your car. So just try to occupy your senses when things are not going well, because beauty can really spark our interest, and you know, look within to the beauty that you seek, whether it's in animals, whether it's in nature, whether it's streams or mountains or beaches and oceans. And be sure to incorporate music in your life, because everybody seeks beauty, whether it's a male or female or an old or a young person. You know, even babies respond to colors, and they respond to rattles. Everybody needs enrichment, and so enrichment is variety. And so, you know, keep a log, keep a journal of things that you consider beautiful in life, because everybody is drawn to some kind of beauty. I have a great appreciation of beauty myself. I like fashion. I love art. I love clothing. I love to see beautiful women. I love to see beautiful men. And I just love to look. I even love to people watch in public. And I love malls, and I love cities, and cityscapes. Just no end to what I consider beauty to be. So to sum up this video, when things are not going smoothly, like in the COVID situation, and when our rights and our privileges are being taken away from us, find some way to entertain your senses with beauty, like I am doing now. And my taste in lifestyles is solitude, and I really don't like loud noises, as in a lot of people, you know, people who are intoxicated. I don't like that. So I seek solitude, and you know, I seek a minimal amount of people in my life. I don't need you know, a huge friend network. I probably have more fans than I realize on YouTube and Facebook, but as far as in my typical life, I really like to spend time with people who I've known for a long time, or who I have a lot in common with. And also dogs. I really like giving myself my energy to my dogs, or stray dogs, or helping dogs when I go on vacation. Anyway, let me just read this poem here. Autograph, say a prayer and open your heart again. You are the love and the light that we all need to see. Always willing to shine, and then peace on this earth is the way that it always can be. This is my autograph. Here in the songs that I sing, here in my cry and my laugh, here in the love that I bring to be always with you and you always with me. That's a half of a heart. And that's for someone special. That's probably a John Denver lyric. I'm not familiar with that song. I should probably put the link to Autograph. So I don't remember the tune of it. Here's the words, the lyrics to Rocky Mountain High. He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found a key for every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away, on the road and hanging by a song. But the string's already broken and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast and it don't last for long. But the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it raining fire in the sky. The shadow from the starlight is softer than a lullaby. Rocky Mountain High. He climbed cathedral mountains. He saw silver clouds below. He saw everything as far as you can see. And they say that he got crazy once and he tried to touch the sun. And he lost a friend but kept his memory. Now he walks in quiet solitude, the forests and the streams, seeking grace in every step he takes. His sight has turned inside himself to try and understand the serenity of a clear blue mountain lake. But the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. I know he'd be a poorer man if he never saw an eagle fly. Colorado Rocky Mountain High. Wow. You know, I've never really read the lyrics. I've just kind of sung along, and sometimes reading the lyrics is a better understanding. I hope this tune, I hope this video doesn't sound like, an optimistic type of video, but it actually, the song actually kind of was similar to my little speech on seeking beauty, because in the last stanza, I know he'd be a poorer man if he never saw an eagle fly. So, I'm no fan of life. I'm actually in agreement with Schopenhauer and every antinatalist or ethicist around who believes that it's better never to have been, because the beauty that we do seek in life is short-lived and it's not going to occupy us through the very worst of times. But we sure certainly are enriched by the beauty that we seek, whether it's a hot girl, a cute guy, whether, it's a new bicycle for Christmas or a new doll, or whether it's a puppy or a kitten or a rabbit, or even a reptile. And whether it's an eagle or a hawk. There's another song. Or some kind of quote. Oh, I am the eagle. I live in the high country, in rocky cathedrals that reach to the sky. I am the hawk, and there's blood on my feathers. But time is still turning, they soon will be dry. And all those who seek me, and all those and all who believe in me share in the freedom I feel when I fly. Come dance with the west wind and touch on the mountaintops. Sail over the canyons and up to the stars and reach for the heavens and hope for the future and all that we can be and not what we are. I don't really have much hope for the future. But I will say that the mountain scenery and the mountain life and the West Coast, the western part of the United States, really makes me happy. And this is just a really good trip for me to have taken near the end of COVID, or, you know, in the middle of it, whichever it is. And then even though some of us do have our eyesight and good eyesight, there are people who are blind, and there were people who are blinded. And, you know, there's some people who can't see beauty, and they struggle. They struggle with boredom, and they struggle with depression, and they can't see beauty in animals or nature, or maybe when they grew up they just weren't, you know, inclined to appreciate things like rocks and streams and sand and birds and trees. I mean, there's just no magic, you know, antidote for people who can't see beauty. I think beauty is in variety. Every revolution was first a thought in one man's mind, and when the same thought occurs to another man, it is the key to that era. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I would really like to think that antinatalism picks up a lot of speed. I would love to think that, you know, it picks up a lot of ground, and it is embraced, and it is not cursed and ridiculed like some entities are doing so. Antinatalism is protection. It's protection from harm for everybody. And these are some scarrings that people can carve into an aspen tree. You don't have to carve very deep, but when you carve superficially, and it exposes the underbelly of the tree, and in about 6 months to a year, it scars over. Look at this. So it's like a rough, it's symbolizes damage to the tree. I don't think it really hurts the tree. Some people consider it graffiti. I've actually kind of liked it since I was, you know, a little girl, because we used to have a place near Taos, New Mexico, and I think we even drew on the trees as a child. It's better to do thinner lines like that, because when it scars over, it swells. And like this was like a deep gouge. Looks like that's a peace sign there. You know, now that I think about the seeking of beauty and the seeking of nature, or the seeking of anything, whether it's concert sounds or music, whatever we seek in life can actually get us into trouble. I seek different kinds of plants. And recently there was a guy on Marketplace, and he sold pawpaw fruits. And I just love collecting different varieties of flora and fauna. I'm not a huge flower fan, but I do love fruit trees and nut trees. And I love cactus too. I have specimens of cactus, and I've taken some cactus pads that they've fallen off in the desert, and just take them home and either cut them and put some root hormone, or just literally stick them in the soil. And you know, within a week you probably have some sprouts, some roots. I really love mountain wildflowers. They're just spectacular. And this is at the end of the season, late September. But this park is beautiful, like, you know, in the summer. Very well kept. It feels great. It just feels so crisp. And even if you do sweat, you really don't feel it. You won't saturate a shirt, that's for sure, because it's very dry mountain air. I really want to paint one of these aspens. It's probably my favorite tree. I love aspen trees. And I love birch too. Birch also looks similar with its white bark. Somebody told me that this white stuff is actually like a mold or a fungus, but I don't think she was right, because almost every tree does have this white like residue. They got all my clothes the other day. So this park is off the beaten part of town, and there's a little park here. A lot of dogs, a lot of dog, like off-leash dog park areas. And dogs are widely allowable in, you know, restaurant patios and stores and shops. The gondola is open on weekends now, so that's my excursion for tomorrow. A trip with Valentine up the gondola, and we'll see some beautiful aspen trees there. Oh, look at this interesting. Yeah, and this is some sand. So yes, you can find sand in Aspen. There are several places that have creeks and rivers. The world is mudlicious and puddle wonderful. E. Cummings. That's only partially true. There's a lot of suffering in this world. And forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet, and the winds long to play with your hair. Sometimes. For the child, it is not half so important to know as to feel. Rachel Carson. Look at this beauty, though. I mean, to me, this is like almost like ecstasy. Yeah. This is a visual orgasm. How beautiful is this? And a perfect, look at the skies. There's just no clouds. But I'm very well aware that the optimism or the delight portrayed in this video is not meant to be dismissive of those who are struggling and in a lot of pain, or who are losing something very important in their lives or somebody very important. But for me, this is a very intoxicating environment, and it is tiding me over for the moment. And when I look at pictures of this very moment, it will remind me of the peace that I had for this particular peaceful moment in time. And it seems like peace is very fleeting. Vacations are very fleeting. Happiness is very fleeting. So right now I'm neither pessimistic nor optimistic. I'm just rather realistic. Here we go. We are like butterflies who flutter for a day and think it is forever. Carl Sagan. Now that is a quote that I can really identify with, and I think that's going to be the one that tapers off this video, because we do think that, you know, the good aspects in life are going to last, but it also happens to the negative aspects. When negative things happen, it feels like it's going to last forever. But basically everything is fleeting, good, bad, and indifferent. As a child, one has that magical capacity to move among the many eras of the earth, to see the land as an animal does, to experience the sky from the perspective of a flower or a bee, to feel the earth quiver and breathe beneath us, to know 100 different smells of mud and listen unself-consciously to the soughing of the trees. Valerie Andrews. Maybe that is one key to enlightenment, to try to see the world as you saw it in your youth, and to see enjoyment in this, you know, lesser things, nature, the sand, mud, a butterfly. But for many people, it's really life is really difficult, and it's very hard to cope without, you know, substances or satisfying their addictions. I guess for me, you know, it just kind of works to be a part of nature, or to help animals, to take photographs, to take videos, to share things with other people. The mountains tell you to stand tall. Nature has many lessons. Listen as it calls your name. You know, I hate to make, like, you know, absolute statements, but one thing that I have that's occurred to me is that people who do enjoy nature versus people who were never exposed to nature, maybe their parents didn't, you know, take them on trips to sand dunes or to forests and whatnot, but it seems that people who have a knack for enjoying nature and animals are just a more peaceful variety of people. So jot your thoughts down below my video and leave comments. I really like this. I don't think I've been here before. Public restroom, and they've utilized the rocks within the wire. That's very cool, I guess, from an architectural standpoint. It's a great way to utilize the environment and you know, recycle. I guess some of those rocks were broken, or just excessive rocks in a riverbed. But this has been really enjoyable, and it's just rambled on, and I don't know if there's anybody that's, watched or listened this far. But if you have any other concepts of life and seeking happiness, jot them down. We're all just trying to get through the day, the week, the month, the year. But life is rather hard. It's hard for everybody, whether you identify with that struggle or not. And there are people with just unbearable situations, and so unbearable that they just want to jump to their death, no matter how much fear and how much anxiety it takes to get to that point, and the repercussions afterwards, and the permanent loss of life. We really do all struggle. But anyway, thanks for watching this far. If you have, it's been 36 minutes. It's quite a long video for me. But, I'm enjoying myself, and this kind of elevation of enjoyment is, it's not something I experience every day. Earth, water, mountain, sky, pause, reflect, and enjoy. It's possibly because of my grandparents and my parents, and the camper trips that we took to the beaches and the mountains as a kid had exposed me to nature, and it gave me an element to appreciate as I got older. Pretty much all of my family's gone. Don't really have a huge connection with those who are left. See that little duck over there on the rock? Oh, speaking of animals, I do think animals have better lives than humans. I think even an animal's life on the African safari, where they have to watch their back every moment of the day, I really, really think that animals are just better equipped to live and let live and accept death. And, they give birth without a thought. They die without too much thought. They kill each other without thought. But I think, the serenity of any kind of animal, pretty much any animal, except crocodiles, it just gives me a lot of peace. And I always like to watch them from a distance. So I guess that's it for our video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share.